Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Travel Umbrella that covers all aspects of travel. I'm in that funny stage in life, the in-between stage. I'm in between cruises and it's not a good place to be. So I thought to myself, what can I do to cover some time in between cruises? So I've come up with a fun quiz. So I thought I'll come up with a quiz, push it out there and see if anyone wants to take part. So how much do you think you know about cruise ships and cruising? So this little quiz is 20 questions, a possible 25 answers. It will test your knowledge of cruises and cruise ships. I'm going to leave it running for probably another 10 days, something like that. And the winner will get the glory of obviously being in first place and the kudos that involves, plus the bragging rights that goes along with that. But also, just to make it a little bit interesting, I will donate £10 to a charity of their choice. So, without further ado, let's crack on and get the first question. So, question 1 of 20 questions. What do the initials P and O stand for? What do the initials P and O stand for? And that is worth 1 point. Moving on to question 2. What is currently the largest passenger liner at sea? And that is in terms of the physical size and not in the number of passengers. So what is currently the largest passenger liner at sea? Again, worth 1 point. Question 3. How many ships are there currently in the Royal Caribbean Fleet? That's worldwide. And I'll give you a little bit of wiggle room and that you are allow plus or minus 1. So it's 2 points if you get it exactly on the nose, and 1 point if you are within plus or minus 1 of the correct number. Question 4. Which cruise line is famous for its medallion technology? Which cruise line is famous for its medallion technology? Moving on to question 5, another P&O question here. Which vessel is currently the oldest ship in P&O's fleet? And for a second point in this question, which vessel is the smallest in the P&O fleet? So a point for each there, the oldest ship in the fleet and the smallest ship in the fleet. Question 6. In which country is the Costa Cruise Line based? Costa Cruise Line. I don't think it's anything to do with the coffee company. 1 point for the country, and I will give you a bonus point if you can name the actual city where their headquarters is located. So, Costa Cruises. Anyone been on a Costa Cruise? I haven't yet. Might be worth a try sometime. Prices seem reasonable. Question 7. There are 4 queens currently in the Cunard fleet. Please name the 4 queens. So that's a point for each of the queens. And for a bonus point, which is the newest of the 4 queens? Question 8. Name the 3 ships in the Virgin Voyager fleet. I know there's a 4th on the way, but there's currently 3 at sea. So name the 3 ships in the Virgin Voyager fleet. And obviously a point for each. Question 9. Moving on to the Marella TUI fleet. How many ships are there currently in service in the Marella or TUI fleet? It's 1 point for the exact number. And I've not been on a Marella cruise yet, but I do plan to do one of those pretty soon. I'm just going to try it for a week, I think, see how we get on. So question 10. I'm hoping that everyone will get this one. What is the name of the famous 51-mile waterway that connects the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean? So, moving on to question 11. I'm sure you've all heard of the MSC cruise line, but what does MSC actually stand for? I didn't know this myself, I had to look it up. It's one of those terms we use all the time, but I didn't actually know what it stands for. So what does MSC actually stand for? And 1 point for the correct answer there. Question 12. Where is the world's busiest waterway? Where is the world's busiest waterway? And that's just to give you a bit of a clue of how busy. There's over 400 ship movements a day in this waterway. So a point for that. Question 13. Which city is often referred to as the cruise capital of the world? Which city is often referred to as the cruise capital of the world? 1 point for the name of the city. Question 14. Which is the only passenger liner that you can take your pet dog, or indeed cat or lizard or whatever, on? So what is the only passenger liner that you can take your pet dog or cat or other pet on? So a point for that, but there's an extra bonus point on offer here. It's a specific cruise route that you can take your pets on, and it's only one cruise route. So 2 points on offer there. What's the ship and what's the cruise route? Question 15. Princess Cruises are famous for playing the Love Boat theme on their ship's horn, but what tune do the Disney cruise ships play? So if you've heard Princess and their Love Boat theme, Disney cruises do something similar. What tune do they play? Question 16, a nautical question here. What is the fastest, 20 miles an hour or 20 knots? 20 miles an hour or 20 knots. 50-50 chance there. Question 17. How far from land was the Titanic when it sank? How far from land was the Titanic when it sank? So 1 point there, and I'll accept plus or minus 10 miles just to give you a bit of leeway. Question 18. What specifically do the P&O, Cunard and Princess cruise lines have in common? So there's something common to all three of these cruise lines, P&O, Cunard and Princess. And 1 point for naming that connection. Question 19. This is related to Europe really. What is the best time of year in Europe to see the Northern Lights? The best time of the year in Europe to see the Northern Lights. And finally, if you were cruising into Amber Cove, which country, and I'll tell you it's in the Caribbean, would you be visiting? So cruising into Amber Cove, which country in the Caribbean would you be visiting? And 1 point available for that. So that concludes my quiz, and we'll run through the answers now. So the answers, let's see how we all did. Question 1 was what do the initials P&O stand for? Obviously this goes back some time. The Peninsula and Oriental Steam Navigation Company. No wonder they said just say P&O. So 1 point there if you got that one. Question 2, what is the largest passenger liner at sea? And as I said, this is in terms of the physical size of the vessel, not the number of passengers it holds. And that is Icon of the Seas. And it's massive. I don't know if you've seen videos of it. It looks, yeah, it's amazing. Not sure if it's for me, but it's an amazing sight. Question 3. This is how many ships are there currently in the Royal Caribbean Fleet. This one surprised me a little bit, I must admit. And as I said, I'll allow you one number either side. So 2 points if it's bang on correct, and 1 point. So according to what I've read, there are 28 ships currently in the fleet. So 2 points if you got 28 ships, and 1 point if you got 27 or 29. Question 4. Which cruise line is famous for its medallion technology? I expect most of you are going to know the answer to this one. That is, of course, Princess Cruises. and I've been on a couple of Princess cruises on Sky Princess, and I know it's got mixed reviews, but I have to say for us it worked really well. It worked really well. Maybe it's because of where we went. So moving on to a P&O question, or a couple of P&O questions in fact. Which vessel is currently the oldest in P&O's fleet? And for a second point, which vessel is the smallest in P&O's fleet? And those P&O fans will know the answer to this. It's the same ship in both cases. The Aurora is the oldest ship in their fleet, and it is also the smallest. I've been on Aurora. We loved it. We really loved the ship. It's sort of got a real retro feel to it. If ever you get the chance, probably it's an adult-only ship. I do recommend taking a cruise on Aurora. So question 6, in which country and city is the Costa Cruise Line based? A point for the country and an extra point for the city. It's probably known that it's an Italian cruise line, and the city they're based in is Genoa. Well, I expect a few people would have got Italy. I'm not sure how many would have got Genoa. I had to look that one up. So 2 points there on offer. Question 7. What are the names of the 4 queens currently sailing in the Cunard fleet? So a point for each, and for a bonus point, I'm giving you which is the newest. So 5 points on offer here. So Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mary II, the Queen Victoria, and the Queen Anne are the 4 queens, with the Queen Anne being the newest, which I think was only launched in the past few months. Question 8, name the 3 ships in the Virgin Voyager fleet. Not been on Virgin yet. I've got a little taster cruise coming up in August later this year. Looking forward to that. So 1 point for each of the 3 ships. I know there's another one on the way, but the 3 currently at sea is Scarlet Lady, Valiant Lady, and Resilient Lady. I think I'm on Resilient. I think so anyway. Question 9. How many ships currently in service in the Marella TUI fleet? 1 point for the exact number in this case. Pretty popular with UK guests, obviously, Marella, all-inclusive cruising. Not tried it yet, but I do plan to do a week's cruise out of Malta at some stage quite soon. So currently they have 5 vessels at sea. Question 10. What is the name of the famous 51-mile waterway that connects the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean? And obviously a point for the correct answer here. No surprises, it's the Panama Canal. The Panama Canal. Moving on to question 11. You've all heard of MSC Cruises, and I had, obviously, but I didn't actually know what it actually stand for. It is the Mediterranean Shipping Company. I did a little bit of reading it. It's privately owned. I think it's one of the few that are privately owned shipping company. Question 12. Where is the world's busiest waterway? With ship movements of over 400 a day. And it is the English Channel, on our doorstep here in the UK. That's a lot of ship movements. So which city is often referred to as the cruise capital of the world? I don't think there's any surprises here. That is Miami in Florida. Question 14. This makes me chuckle, really. I'd love to take my dog on a cruise. Which is the only passenger liner that you can take your pet dog or cat or lizard, probably not an elephant, but your pet on. And for an extra point, where is the route that liner will go? So the ship is the Queen Mary II, and the only route you can take your pet on is the transatlantic Southampton to New York passage. So I'm not sure why they're the only one, or why they do it at all. But anyway, that's an unusual fact for you there. So question 15. Princess are famous for playing the Love Boat theme on their ship's horn when they do sail away. But what tune do the Disney cruise ships play? 1 point there for the correct answer. And it is the first line of When You Wish Upon a Star, which I suppose it was always going to be, really, wasn't it? So question 16. Which is the fastest? Is it 20 miles an hour or 20 knots? 50-50 chance here. And it is 20 knots, which is equivalent to just over 23 miles per hour. So question 17, I hope this isn't morbid, but how far from land was the Titanic when it sank? And I'll allow you 10 miles either way, a point for this. And it was 400 miles from Newfoundland, I believe, when it sank. So if you got anywhere between 390 and 410, you gain the point for question 17. Question 18. What specifically do the P&O, Cunard and Princess cruise lines have in common? So there's something that connects all three of these cruise lines. What is it? And it's a point for they are all owned by the same company, which is the Carnival Corporation and PLC. It's the same company, but it's got two names either side of the Atlantic. So Carnival Corporation and PLC. Three very different lines, but same holding company. So question 19, what's the best time of year in Europe to see the Northern Lights? Point there. It is autumn and winter, so I think the peak month is February, I believe, but you've got a good chance of seeing them in the autumn and winter, not so much in the summer. And the final question, if you were cruising to Amber Cove, which country in the Caribbean would you be visiting? Amber Cove, so where is Amber Cove? It is in one of my favourite places where we've holidayed a lot in the past, is the Dominican Republic. Never cruised there, but we've had a lot of land-based holidays there. So that's the final question. Many thanks. As I say, there's a possible 25 points on offer there from the 20 questions. It's likely that there will be a tie for first place, so there is a tie-break question. And the question is, how many miles have my wife and I cruised since we took our first cruise holiday back in July of last year, 2023? Now, I've been on a number of cruises. I'm not going to tell you how many, but there will be clues in the videos in my channel. So this is probably a sneaky way of getting you to watch a few of my videos, and I make no apology for that. We're all trying to grow our channels, and I'm no different to anyone else. So yes, there'll be clues in my channel, on the videos in my channel, as to where we've been, and so that will give you a sort of a baseline for guesstimating how many miles we've cruised since the 1st of July 2023. So please add your score in the comments below. Name your chosen charity, because the winner, I will donate £10 to their chosen charity, and obviously put your tie-break answer there as well, so I can sort the wheat from the chaff. And anyway, that's it. That's a little bit of fun for I'm in between cruises. Thanks for participating, and happy cruising, everyone. And I'll see you on board the next vessel, hopefully, and the next cruise. Thank you, and bye for now.